Do not mess up your early 20s. Here are some tips that are extremely crucial for you to follow in your early 20s. Don't get caught up in trying to grow up too fast. There's no need for you to be dressing like you're 10 years older. There's no need for you to be doing things that grown people do. Actually enjoy that time. Figure out your personal style and what actually fits you. Date, but still date with intention. Don't just date anybody just for the sake of dating. And there's no need to give your body to a bunch of people either. That doesn't end up benefiting you in the end. You can still learn what it is that you want and don't want in a man just by simply observing the people around you. Don't be friends with people who don't genuinely support you. If you have friends that you feel like you can't share good news or important information with them, then those aren't your friends. Surround yourself with people who genuinely care about your well-being and genuinely support your goals and aspirations.
Your advice for a 21-year-old girl: have fun, don't get pregnant, and don't sleep with no dusty broke man. There you go. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And when you get about 24, start looking for lifestyle and men with money. There you go. More money.
The worst thing you can be in your 20s is literally not alone. And let me tell you why. Being alone teaches you many things. So the first thing is self-respect. I kid you not, I see so many people in relationships where they're just constantly settling for less because they never knew what their worth was. When you don't spend time with yourself, you don't know what your worth is anymore. And so when someone comes along, you're just so eager to be attached to them because you don't want to experience loneliness that you lose sight of what you actually bring to the table and you settle for less. People fear being alone because they feel like they can't operate at that level of solitude. And that to me is insane. You're going to be with somebody at some point in your life, most likely, because the universe, God, whatever you believe in, has a plan for you. So this short period in your early youth is where you need to maximize your alone and solitude time the most. And so touching on that first point of respect, if you feel like you can't operate at that level, then like I said before, you're going to get in that cyclical nature of getting in relationship with people that don't benefit you because you're so afraid of what loneliness provides for you. And so mastering what it means to be lonely will allow you to be like, okay, this person isn't serving me, so I'm going to leave the conversation, I'm going to leave the relationship, I'm going to leave. And following the first point is that number 2, it really improves your decision making. When you're alone, you are able to better gauge like what others bring to the table in your life. And you can be like, yeah, I want this person in my life, or no, I don't, because I prefer being alone than being with them. And it relates to part 1 as well, but like this really helps identify like what you need from somebody and what they could need from you as well. So all this solitude can help better gauge your choices because you are able to know exactly who you are and if it's beneficial for you. So decision making improves. Third point, and I think this is like by far one of the best points, is that you get autonomy over all of your choices. What does that mean? So very clearly put, you can make choices only for yourself, only concerning yourself. There's no kids, and I know some people have different case-by-case situations, but for most people in their early youth, like you don't have anybody else to worry about but yourself. So you have complete autonomy over your choices, and that is a really, really big advantage in your youth to have. It's unfortunate because I see a lot of adults realize that, oh wow, life really was at my fingertips. Like I could do whatever I want when I was younger, but now I have a child. So when you have others like dependents that look up to you, rely on you, and they need your financial aptitude and they need your financial security, you aren't going to be able to provide that type of solitude for yourself ever again. So as a youth who doesn't have anybody in their life right now, this is a really, really big advantage for you to invest yourself in things that matter to you, whether that be investments, a future business, your education, a career, any pastime. You have it all at your own jurisdiction. It's getting really dark outside, so I'm about to go back inside. But those are my main 3 points. And I say all this to reiterate this big, big picture that the best thing you could provide for somebody or for the whole world is a really full and deep understanding of yourself. Podcast is going to be linked in the caption, so listen to this episode when it's out. Bye.
Nobody asked me specifically, but this is my life advice as a 32-year-old woman for the girls in their 20s. Go where you are loved. If you're struggling to find those places, become it. I know it sounds cliche, but I need you to hear me. Don't go where you think you can work your way up to being loved. Don't go where you've been promised love but don't feel it. Go where you are loved. Go where you are shown grace and generosity without having to beg for it. This goes for your jobs, for your relationships, for your friendships, for the way that you treat yourself and in your family. When we force ourselves to stay in and adapt to environments where we do not feel loved, where we do not feel valued and cherished, we start to program ourselves to feel like we're not good enough, and that's going to affect the way that you choose relationships and opportunities for the rest of your life. And the reason I say, if you're struggling to find those places, become it, is because you're inevitably going to have chapters in your life that I call the in-betweens, where you don't feel like you belong. You don't feel like you're being embraced. You don't feel like you're getting what you need from your environment. And in those moments, you have to become a safe place for yourself. And it's not easy or superficial work. You're not always going to be able to uplift yourself by getting a new hairstyle or buying some new makeup or clothes or going on a trip. You're going to have to figure out how to be at peace with yourself, even in the moments when you're not your best self. But I promise you, when you become a place where you are loved, those in-between moments don't wear and tear on you so much. You sharpen your discernment. So when you do find yourself in those places or in those relationships or opportunities that don't embrace you or allow you to be your full human self, you can exit from those situations more quickly. And it becomes much harder to attach in the first place to the people, places, and things that don't affirm you. Go where you are loved. And if you can't find those places, become it. Love you.
Let's get into the fact that people will say anything about you and what you're doing just to make themselves feel better about what they're not doing, right? Prime example, being in your 20s, as I am, I'm 23, it's a very trying time, right? You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure out, your life, where you want to go, what you want to be, what you want to do, how much money you want to make, all that, right? And, there's a portion of us that take that very seriously, right? You might have cut back on going out as much. You might have cut back on smoking. You might have cut back on drinking. You might have cut all that out actually for the past 6 months or the past year, or you're just doing something different in 2023. It's really like mind boggling to me, and I can't wrap my mind around it, how some people will find that like lame. Like they'll literally say, like, oh, you should be having fun in your 20s and you should be having a ball, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. It don't have to be that serious, blah 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 blah. Right. Okay. For those people, I want you to take a look at your family members and analyze where they are and have a conversation with them and ask them, like, oh, what were you doing in your 20s? Right? If they're not like filthy rich, well off, and taking trips and being able to just do what they want to do when they wake up every single morning, having their way out here, I don't think that's the advice you need to be giving folks. You feel me? Like I don't think you need to be, it's 7 days in a week. I honestly don't think you need to be in the club 4 of them days. You know? Who are you to shame people for wanting to work on themselves and figure themselves out and better themselves early on in life, right? Who are you? Like, it's crazy. I be having a ball. I'm 23 and I don't feel like I'm too serious. Like, I'm very serious about becoming successful and, achieving a great, great level of success and making a lot of money. And guess what? I still have fun. But like, for people who stay away from people who try to persuade you and make you think otherwise, like you need to let your hair down, you need to do this, you need to do that, whatever aside from what you doing on your path, don't. Just don't. Don't even fall into that, because that is horrible advice, and that's a person that just don't want to see you win. And because they don't have a clear plan, they don't want you to be, too focused and straightforward with your plan. Okay? Keep them people out your life, because them gonna be the same folks. Them gonna be the same folks. I don't even have to say nothing else. Them gonna be the same folks later on talking about, I would, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have, if I could go back, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Y'all be wanting to live other people's life thinking that they lit, not knowing that they're alcoholics and crackheads. Everybody that's out every weekend is not having a good time. Some people are just trying to ease the pain. Stay in your lane, baby. Live your boring life.
I need every 20-year-old to know. Please slow the hell down and do not rush through these 20s. I know it seems like 30 is literally knocking at your door as soon as you start getting through your 20s, because trust me, it goes fast. But that's why you need to slow it down. Everything and everybody don't have to be permanent. Every decision is not permanent, and it only gets better. Number 2, You're an adult now, meaning you literally don't have to keep asking people about your decision. Do not spend your entire 20s trying to seek validation. Start trusting in yourself. You made it this far for a reason. But number 3, you did not come this far to only come this far. 20s are the main years where you're really trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing with my life. This is not it. Like, there's so much more in store for you. If I knew when I was 20 years old what I would be doing at 28 years old, I would have shut my ass up a long time ago. But in a good way, though. Because I really was complaining about things that were already handled.
Advice I wish I knew in my early 20s. As a woman, always have your own money. Always, always, always. I was in a very, very long-term relationship. I think it lasted, I don't know, somewhere from like 8 to 10 years. And I was well taken care of. Bills were paid, car was paid. I didn't have to worry about a damn thing. But when I got out of that relationship, I didn't have a fucking dime to my fucking name, because I was just living life and I wasn't saving and I wasn't worried about anything because I thought that would never end. I didn't have a dime to my name. I don't think it was until I was 27 I started saving up money, and I had like $5,000 at 27. After everything, I could have kept his money and like saved it off to the side, but I was just living life. I was just in the moment, and that's great and all. And if somebody's taking care of you and you're in your early 20s, that's fine. Enjoy it, but still on the side, make your own money. Or if you're just getting money from this man, save some of it. Just have your own. Save something for a rainy day. You just quite literally never know. Like, as much as you think you could be possibly locked in with a person, life happens. Shit happens. And you just always want to be prepared. Not everything is always going to be fucking rainbows and fucking butterflies. So take care of you, save up for a rainy day, and always, always, as a woman, have your own fucking money.